We were watching Christopher Luxon. We've done a couple of pieces on Christopher Luxon this week when he was on 30 with Guy and Espino.
Oh,
And Guy on said to him, "Yeah, but you agree this is divisive, eh?" And he goes, "Yep." It's like he was so keen to get power at any means, by any means. He's opened the door for this kind of conversation. I'm sorry, I'm air quotes around the conversation, to happen. He knows it's divisive. I actually now don't think it'll go past the first reading. For a while, I was like, no, I don't think it will. What do you think about what? And I'm talking about Luxon in particular. He's the prime minister. He's opened the door for this. He owns this. What he's done, letting this get put before the House and be debated for 6 months, and what that's going to do to society, which we need to remember goes back to him, not just Seymour, but him as well.
yeah, like 6 months. 6 months of airtime, focus on this particular bill, which is extremely flawed, is going to turn a proposed debate around the treaty into a law and order issue. It's going to become really toxic. And given the Prime Minister has confirmed he won't be in the country during the first reading of the Treaty Principles Bill, which, I mean, it's easy to assume, it's easy for all New Zealanders to assume that the coalition agreement takes precedence over the founding document of this country, and that is very telling.
That's rough, mate. Saying it like that, that's fucking rough. Chewy, why don't you jump in, brother?
Oh, there's so much I can say here. I think moving this up to this week for the absolutely transparent reasons that they've done it, that it would be lost in the wash of the US elections, and then they want to get it to the debate chamber before the hikoi even leaves, is just some devious trash tier politics, and everybody behind it should be ashamed of it. I think we've got to keep in mind that David Seymour has one thing in mind. He knows he's going to lose this, but he is going to tie up so much of our national debate on it. He's going to keep it in the news cycle for as long as he can, and his end game is a public referendum, which will be one of the most horrifically divisive things that this country has ever seen. I think he's dead set on flushing 50 years worth of slow, inching, hard fought for progress in this country down the toilet based on his debate club understanding of New Zealand history. I think we got people in the chat talking about the training that they had and the knowledge that they had through their jobs of learning about treaty breaches, and we're talking about hundreds of years of straight up ignoring the treaty and ignoring Māori. As soon as it was signed and people could come in, that was mission accomplished as far as Europeans were involved in. And I think the discussion has shifted, is that there is a significant portion of this country that realizes that the treaty doesn't oppress anyone, that it is unique in the world, and we need to stand for it. I think there's a lot of people that are ignorant around treaty issues and don't have the training and don't have the understanding and haven't searched out the knowledge to form a coherent opinion on this, apart from sounds like Māori are being greedy.
Yeah, so
that's what David Seymour is counting on.
Yeah. So I always go back to that tribunal thing, is what is the problem that they're trying to solve? So you see, say the Te Aka Whai order, MAPAS up at Auckland University, that's the Māori Pacific medical program, to try and get more Māori into as doctors, a treaty clause within corrections that will prod corrections to have some culturally relevant sort of programs for people in prison, so they can have for reintegration and rehabilitation, so that there's a strategy in place. And none of these are bulletproof, but these are just triggers. That's what these principles do. But what's changed? Are there suddenly, because of these strategies that are embodied in He Oranga Tamariki and different things, are there suddenly way more Pākehā that have been disproportionately imprisoned? Are there suddenly way more Pākehā whose health needs are not being met? I mean, do you guys know? I haven't seen any indication of that.
I want a lot of things in this country to be have the treaty more centric in them, and it is at times for quite selfish reasons. I like the idea of the majority of our rivers being swimmable, and certainly doing things the way that we've been doing has not got that. So
yeah,
one of my hopes is that when we get past this, and we start considering things, resource management through a te tiriti lens, is that we will get better outcomes, because as we've said on the show many times, what is good for Māori is good for all of us, because we live in the same country. And
yes.
it baffles me when I look at someone like David Seymour and say, can you not see this? And I think he can. I think he wants to ignore it.